was impressive throughout this entire ball game. 455 yards of offense.
Cowboys cannot stop the clock again. Anderson. Another first down. Down he goes, and this thing is over. The last time the Rams went to the NFC Championship game, they were the St. Louis Rams, and they won that game in the 0-1 season. They've been to the champ game 9 times in franchise history, and they're knocking on the door of their 10th appearance. Last time the Rams were knocking on the door of the Super Bowl, Saints defeated the Rams, as you saw in Week 9, 45-35. The Eagles won here down the stretch, and they've won their last 2 games against the Rams here in the Coliseum. Sean McVay, the youngest head coach to win a postseason game. And he and his crew, Troy, did it behind their offensive line and the work of Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson. And now the Dallas Cowboys have lost 8 straight road playoff games.
Yeah, the Rams came in and they really beat the Cowboys at their own game. They held Ezekiel Elliott to under 50 yards rushing in the ball game, less than 3 yards a carry. On the other, they just had their way. And congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams moving on, and Sean McVay, Jared Goff and company, and what a heck of a win. This was a challenge for them, but they pulled it off and looked impressive doing it.
Gives to Anderson, cut back to his right. He goes in! They give to Gurley. Who's lane middle? Gurley, the touchdown! Damien Williams cuts it back inside the 10. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill, jet speed, snowshoes! Touchdown! Give to Michelle, runs up the middle, turning forward, into the end zone, to the pylon, diving, touchdown!
The Saints are going to fake it up the middle, and they're going to have enough. What a call! And the ball's intercepted. Marshawn Lattimore, New Orleans, you're moving on to the NFC Championship.
Patriots advance to their 8th straight AFC Championship game.
Check it off. Final Four next week.
Welcome to NFL Total Access, presented by Dodge. Lindsey Rhodes, Scott Hansen, and the 4 teams that remain in the mix for Super Bowl 53.
Yeah, we're not having any Cinderellas in the Final Four for the NFL this year. It's the heavyweights, the 1 seed and the 2 seed, and the 1 seed and the 2 seed in both conferences. How did we get here? Let's flash it back yesterday, down in the Big Easy. The Superdome, the site where Drew Brees has never lost a playoff game. Nick Foles has only lost 1 playoff game in his career. And early on, it looked like Philadelphia was bidding for the upset. First possession of the game for the Eagles, Jordan Matthews, deep shot touchdown. It was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. And then the Eagles did not find the end zone again. Marshawn Lattimore undercuts that pass there. A little bit of an underthrow by Foles, going for Zach Ertz. One of 2 interceptions on the day for Lattimore. The second would seal the game. But Drew Brees needed points. He gets some right here. On 4th and goal, they go for it and get it. Keith Kirkwood for the touchdown. It was 14-10 at the half. Second half now, Brees looking to Michael Thomas, who had a monstrous game. 171 yards receiving for the star wide receiver. Brees and company go on an 18-play drive. One of the longest playoff drives in recent memory. Go to the fourth quarter now. The Saints are up by 6. They can make it a 2-possession lead with a field goal. Will Lutz pushes it wide right there. So with 3 minutes left, Nick Foles and the guys get the football back, needing a touchdown to take the lead. And right around the 2-minute warning, Foles inside pass and goes right through the hands of Alshon Jeffrey. You throw this play 100 times, Jeffrey catches it 99 times. But this one not only goes through his hands, goes into the awaiting arms of Marshawn Lattimore, and that would do it. The Saints take it 24-20-14. They're going to the NFC Championship game. Drew Brees at home, what can you say? He's never lost a playoff game at home, and he's been near perfect this year in the Superdome. The most accurate passer at home, more touchdown passes than anyone at home this year, and the best passer rating at home. And to the victor go the spoils, to the loser, got to think about next year.
Again, turning point in the game, that drive, just to 23 plays, and to possess it for 11 and a half minutes. It's pretty much the entire third quarter. Got us the lead, which I think, to be down 14 and now all of a sudden to take the lead in the third quarter, it was just a huge momentum shift and the tipping point.
It sucks right now. I mean, everyone is like when we all down. Like I said, I let my teammates down. I let the city of Philadelphia down. That's on me. We'll be back next year for sure.
Well, props to Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah. I mean, he manned up. What can you say?
I love it.
He's got some of the best hands in the league, and they failed him on that particular play there. But that was an isolated play, and it's easy to say it in the late in the fourth quarter. They had to come back from 14 points down, did the New Orleans Saints.
They did. They had to make some adjustments, and you got to give Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, a lot of credit for changing things on the back end, because early on you saw big plays from Nick Foles to their receivers. Jordan Matthews catches a floater. It seems like nobody is covering, and a lot of the times the defensive backs, Reggie, were looking back at the quarterback instead of paying attention to the receiver, and the receiver just kept going forward, and he was dropping the ball, like he says, over their shoulder. But after that, they seem to settle down. You come to the sideline, and we're going to have some tight coverage. We're going to play better technique. You see it right here. He's looking back at the ball, but he's still bodying him up. Yes. He's moving his body so he can feel him. And then right here again, who was that? Lattimore? He pulls him down. One of the most sophisticated defenses or defensive calls is you got to find matchups and adjustments, right? They switched Marshon Lattimore and put him on Alshon Jeffrey because they thought he was the guy that was hurting them. They made that switch. He shut him down, made some big plays. They defended the ball well. The Williams brothers, they started playing better technique and attacking the football. Instead of playing zone and just sitting there, they sat at 5 and they played man-to-man and they played great technique. You got to make these adjustments, in-game adjustments in big games.
Great game by the Saints defense. However, they lost Sheldon Rankins in this game to an injury. Not going to be able to play next week, we don't think, against the Los Angeles Rams. That's a tough loss there with a high-octane offense coming in. Reggie Wayne, if I might say, Michael Thomas had himself a Reggie Wayne-type playoff game. How did he do it?
Well, you're talking about with Alshon Jeffrey, the best hands. We know that Michael Thomas can catch the ball on a consistent basis. Hell of a year. 1,400 yards in the regular season. But two things he does well: understanding coverages and understanding leverages with DBs. Here you got a bang post. On your 7th step, you got to make a hard plant. Right here, you need to know exactly where Drew Brees is expecting to throw the ball in the high angle or low angle. He understands coverages. He knows exactly where Drew Brees is throwing his ball. Right here, he's at the slot. He's going to run the drive route. If a man's running with you, you know it's man-to-man. If nobody's running with you, it's zone. So you know if it's zone, you got to stop right there. Sit down in the open area. Great job by him understanding the coverage. Drew Brees throws him a great runner's ball. He was able to get up and go north and get a first down. Here you go, understanding the leverages of DBs. We know he's not the fastest guy, but he knows right where he got this DB.
Playing outside.
On the outside. He's opened the gate, opened his hips already. I'm going to keep him there, and I'm going to make him spin like a war cycle. Great understanding the DB leverage right there. When you see that face right there from Michael Thomas, when you see that face, get him the ball because this is a bad dude out there.
Anytime you can turn around a defensive back or get him in space like that, the receivers automatically win.
Yeah.
And you don't have any fear that Drew Brees is going to put it on him where he needs to.
Right where he
goes. Michael Thomas, by the way, told Deion Sanders yesterday that he'll have something special for a celebration for the NFC Championship game if he gets into the end zone against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the reason I bring that up is because the NFC Championship game presented by TurboTax Live is Rams and Saints. That's a rematch of earlier this year, the game in which Michael Thomas pulled out the cell phone, did the old Joe Horn flashback game. Sunday, 3:05 on Fox for the NFC.
As for the AFC, KC punched its ticket on Saturday. Watched these two teams fight for the right to play them yesterday. Chargers and Patriots, and the Chiefs didn't have to wait long for their answer because the Chargers didn't seem to have an answer for anything the Patriots were doing. Couldn't get them off the field. Pats with touchdowns on each of their first 4 drives. 1 through the air to Philip Dorsett, that from Tom Brady. And they scored 3 times in the first half on the ground. All by Sony Michel, who had a monster game, 129 rushing yards. Chargers just couldn't get it going. Their season now over. Phillip Rivers 0-8 against Brady.